a good Wednesday morning for you here on this April the 26th, 2023. Sam Gormley in for MB today on K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose, K105 Digital Production, SoundCloud. We've got all of the different ways for you to join us here on today's show. Coming up on the show, we'll update you on the latest local news headlines, some issues to bring you as we look through. We've got another trip to Reddit. We'll have to have some diving in to see which side of the issue that we all are on, and much more to bring you, including something that for some reason I didn't mention yesterday. I guess I can say that I was distracted by our co-hosts yesterday. They're kind of distracting. We can just use that as an excuse, something that we definitely have to mention as the show goes along. But first, we have to bring in our first non-guest co-host of the day. It's Christy. Good morning, Christy. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
See, I can't do the... He's got it down pat.
It's okay, Sam.
For one, it's also impressive. And I know he's only done your intro.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think we have... today is like the 2634th show,
Wow.
something like that. And what, you've probably been on 1,600 of them?
Maybe.
Give or take. So he's only done it 1,600 times to have the practice for it.
Absolutely. But
I know the one thing that I know that he does like to do is bring you words.
Yes.
And you know that feeling when you have that hesitation when you meet somebody out in public that you know, but you can't remember their name.
Oh, yeah.
And you kind of have that hesitation, like,
Yes.
I don't. So the Scots have a word for it, and it is tartle. Is that tartle with an A? Tartle is that panicky hesitation you get when you can't remember someone's name. I'm really bad about that.
So am I.
And I'm also really bad as parents will come up to me in the broadcasting sense and be like, "Oh, you know, my boy did great." Like,
I
yeah,
get tartled
he did great.
often.
Honestly, I sometimes don't know who you might be. So, okay. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm not the only one that gets tartle as well. We'll bring in our guest co-host for the day from the Grayson County Extension Office is Whitney Carmen. Good morning, Whitney. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Do you get tartled every once in a while?
Every day.
Every day. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not great by names.
Yeah.
Now, I got kind of a question to ask you, and I guess, I don't know if this is necessarily personal or not, but do you ever, maybe when you're driving, do you have road rage?
Oh, this has been discussed several times on this show. Yes. Yes, I do.
Now, do you get road rage to the point where you might flip the bird?
I have not. Now, I have had it reciprocated on me for various reasons, but also I have come very, very close.
The driver flipping you the bird in traffic is most likely a woman. A study found that women have less patience for people who get in their way because they have to overcome so many other obstacles in other parts of their lives. The researchers also found that as women move up the corporate ladder, the more likely they are to experience road rage.
Well, I'm not up on the corporate ladder, but I do. And I get it. And it's more or less just because I'm always in a hurry.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, Christy, listen, nobody's listening. It's just us.
Have you know me. I am honest, right?
Yes.
I always tell it. Yes, I have absolutely flown the bird in traffic.
Yeah, I think I've probably done it once or twice.
I've not done it a lot.
I don't know
but
that
I
I've
have
done it here. If I've done
I
it,
have here either,
Right.
or in Edmonson County. I mean, you know what I mean? But
if
yes.
I've done it, and I don't remember if I've done it, so, like I said, I've been driving for a long time. If I have, it has definitely not been locally.
Right.
Because I know way too many people.
Well,
especially in Breck County.
Yeah.
and I'm a very cautious driver. So if you startle me, like if you pull out in front of me, if you almost T-bone me, I'm going to blow my horn and possibly fly the bird as well.
I will blow my horn.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, but if you sit at the light too long, I apologize. I'm going to honk my horn at you.
Yeah. But it's a little toot-toot.
Yeah,
see,
it's not out. Yeah, I'm not going to lay on it. I'm just going to be like, hey.
I'm more of the, I'm going to kind of curse you under my breath kind of person, and just...
My poor children have heard... Because, usually it's the car in the morning, like we're trying to get to school. And
you're trying to get down here.
Yeah.
It's where you learn all kinds of colorful language,
listen,
right?
I told them they're not allowed to
Alea,
say those things.
She will hear me say, please don't turn left. Please don't turn left.
Yes.
Please don't turn left. Please don't turn left. Right?
Oh, yeah, because there's some places here in town.
It's like, please.
Or I always... The part where probably the most words come around is... like fast food row there in Litchfield,
Oh,
especially
yes.
if you go
Wow.
down that way at about noon.
Right. And it's not necessarily always locals that are in that area. So they don't
Right.
necessarily know the rules of the road there.
Even then, that doesn't stop them.
No.
Because some people, it's just they have the whole well, hope you stop. 3 lanes across traffic. Let's do
Two
it.
wheels.
And let's see how fast we
get
can
that
hit it
burger.
going down that
Oh,
hill. Yep.
Lord,
I
yes.
got my Big Mac and I'm ready to roll. Usually they probably have one hand on the Big Mac
Yeah.
too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
or like a paw on the fries or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're complaining that they got a regular Coke instead of a Diet Coke.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know who might do
I
that.
was going to say.
That was a good one, Sam.
We'll keep a mix of sun and clouds overhead today. Temperatures warm into the 60s and low 70s this afternoon. It's actually going to be a pretty nice day.
I'm so excited.
Clouds increase tonight ahead of our next system. Lows in the low 40s tonight. Tomorrow, afternoon rain showers with a high around 66. Breezy tomorrow night with a low around 56. So it's not going to get quite as cold tomorrow night. It's going to be rainy, but not quite as chilly as it has been the past couple of nights. And I know pretty much we're going to be sticking with, for the most part, this forecast for the next couple of days. We'll
Well,
have the rain in there, but temperature-wise, it's going to be
I'm
pretty
very
nice.
glad because I'm hoping this morning was the last time I had to uncover my seedlings.
Oh, yes.
So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I think that now there's a chance or two, I think, to get kind of low in the next couple of weeks, but I'm
I
still
think
going to
last
say don't do anything until May.
Right.
Yeah, I've always... some
Now-
people say don't plan until after Mother's Day, and some people say just don't
So-
plan until after Derby.
I did go ahead and sprinkle some lettuce seeds.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and as long as you keep those covered, that's
Right.
fine. But it's not everybody has the patience to do it like you do.
I know. I know.
I am one of those.
Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center will host a ribbon cutting ceremony to celebrate the opening of the new behavioral health unit, specifically for geriatric patients. That will be held on Tuesday, May 9th at 2 p.m. It'll be a 12-bed inpatient unit, the only facility in the region to focus on the mental health needs of older adult patients. The inpatient geriatric behavioral health program will provide cognitive, emotional, and behavioral care for various psychiatric illnesses, including depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety, and thought disorders, hospital officials said. This locked unit is designed for short-term stays with the goal of returning patients to their homes. It serves individuals from private residences, assisted living centers, and nursing homes. Again, that ribbon cutting ceremony, you'll be able to tour it afterwards, will be on May 9th at 2 p.m. So that'll be coming up here really soon.
I think that's a good addition.
I do too.
Good addition to the
yes,
hospital.
absolutely.
The trial of a Breckenridge County man and former Meade County deputy jailer for shooting a man is underway. 32-year-old Nicholas Peak of McDaniels is on trial in Breck County for second-degree assault after allegedly shooting 44-year-old Michael Kunick of Nicholasville. According to the arrest citation, he approached the victim, who was outside a residence in the 100 block of Clora Kuiper Road in McDaniels, and shot him in the neck. He then attempted to run from the area, the victim did, with Peak following and continuing to shoot at the victim. That happened in late August of 2019. The victim was airlifted to U of L Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries and later released. Peak was arrested the morning after the shooting and originally charged with first-degree assault and first-degree wanton endangerment and lodged in the Grayson County Detention Center. That charge is now at second-degree assault. The trial is not expected to stretch beyond this week. Second-degree assault is a Class C felony punishable by 5 to 10 years in prison. Tragedy on I-65 early Saturday morning as a man has been killed after stopping in the center lane of I-65 in Hardin County. Timothy Miner of Louisville was killed Saturday morning at 3:30 when, for unknown reasons, he stopped his car in the middle of the southbound lanes, resulting in a tractor-trailer crashing into the back of the vehicle. Miner did not have the vehicle's flashers on at the time of the collision. It is still under investigation.
Wow.
That's terrible, but
Yeah. Makes you wonder if there was like a medical emergency
right.
or,
Or something.
something that
I'll
happened.
be anxious to find out more.
It is. It's terrible. Regardless, a man has been arrested after firing at a construction crew in Nelson County. The Nelson County Sheriff's Office said that on Monday, deputies responded to a call of shots fired at a construction crew from a southbound Ford Flex in the St. Thomas area on New Haven Road. The sheriff happened to be traveling north on New Haven Road when he spotted the vehicle. He attempted a traffic stop, but the vehicle fled. The vehicle then began experiencing mechanical issues. Pursuit then came to a stop, and both occupants exited the vehicle. He was lodged, and so on. Governor Beshear ceremoniously signed legislation that creates the Kentucky Urban Search and Rescue Program under the Division of Emergency Management during an event in the Capitol Rotunda yesterday. According to the language of the bill, the Search and Rescue Program shall develop, coordinate, respond to, and maintain the Commonwealth's efforts towards providing resources to locate and extricate victims entrapped by man-made or natural disasters, as well as conducting other operations within the boundaries of the Commonwealth. Seems like something that we probably need, and it's probably another one of those examples of why don't we have this yet?
I know. Some of the stuff that passed, you're like, I didn't know we didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird. And then you look at some of the bills that we still have on the deck, and it's like, why are we still doing this?
Well, and I wonder, too, if it doesn't have something to do, if we pass legislation, we get a little more federal funding or something in that situation, too.
And there might be more with that. Whitney, I know that things are getting busier, especially for you. You were just touching on planting, but as the temperature warms up, your job just gets busier, right?
It does. It sure does.
What's coming up that some people might need to know about?
Just a reminder about the Master Gardener Plant Fair, which is going to be on Derby Day. It is always Derby Day. It's their 14th year of having it, and it will be at the Extension office on Quarry Road. So there's going to be lots of vendors, lots of plant sales, lots of educational opportunities, and hopefully the weather cooperates, but it will be rain or shine either way.
So I'm so excited, and I knew obviously that you would be here today. I think most people know that I help with my grandmother, so she's coming to stay a week with me. So she and I are actually getting up, and we are coming to the plant fair while MB, he, I guess, does prep for Derby food.
Yeah.
So you will see Mama and I at the plant fair.
Awesome.
I'm so excited, and she's excited.
Yes.
So.
Good.
That's great.
Good. And then I know, Whitney, you said a fencing class, and when I heard about that, I immediately went to. I thought you were going to getting out the. I don't know what I can't remember what they're called. And
sticks.
You were going to be out there in the full garb, and you were going to be teaching a class like that. But no, this is
actual
fencing.
Fence that boundary and temporary fencing. There is a fencing school that's going to be at our office on Saturday, the 29th. It starts pretty early. Registration's at 7:30, so the program will start at 8. They're going to have educational session on boundary fence, how to do that. And then there's going to be classroom session. So from like 8 to 11, they'll be in the office, and then they're going out to Ken Lashley Construction which is in Clarkson, and do a hands-on demonstration. So there's going to be lots of people that's their forte, that's what they do, and experts in that. And so they're going to, if you're interested in learning how to do that and what that entails, then
that is very exciting. I'll go ahead and tell you. So night before last, I actually helped my little cousin finish a chicken coop. Okay. So when, Sam, you thought of fencing like with sword or whatever, a farm girl automatically thinks fencing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just when I hear a fencing class, I'm just thinking of you're teaching a class on fencing, which I thought would be.
That sounds very interesting.
It's a fencing school. Does that make it sound better? It's the Lincoln Trail Fencing School. So
if you start the Lincoln Trail in front of that makes me change it a little bit.
It's on Saturday the 29th, and if you are interested in actually attending that, you do need to let us know because they will have lunch prepared there on site at the where they're going to do the demonstration at Ken. So please
really cool.
let us know. And it should be decent weather. So good day to be outside.
That's good. So great things happening there at the Extension office. I do also want to make sure that we mention in some local sports news, Grayson County High School's Camden Brothers is committed to play college baseball at Brescia. Brothers is a senior member of the Cougar baseball team on the season, hitting .358, 12 RBIs, and entering last night's game, he had an ERA of 1.56. He's a true utility man, too. I mean, he has played in his career for Grayson the outfield. He's played shortstop, he's played first base, he's played pitcher. And Whitney, that's pretty much everything.
That's about everything.
That's just about everything. He told us. He said it's close to home in a small school. He didn't want to be anywhere real big and urban. It's a nice school, and more importantly, they have what he wants to major in. So congratulations to Camden. He commits to Brescia. Last night, Grayson County had a good day in sports. The Lady Cougars won 7-5 at Whitesville Trinity. Pick up their first district win of the win. They won 7-5. Grayson County beat Edmondson County last night 13-10. That's in baseball, not football. As they were down 6-0 through the first 2 innings, but scored 11 unanswered to come away with the win there. And then tennis beat Owensboro last night, which was a big win for them, both the girls and the boys tennis teams wins. And then for some reason, I forgot to yesterday, mention, but a pretty amazing accomplishment happened in the softball program on Monday evening.
Yeah.
Grayson County softball head coach Penny Reese won her 700th career game.
Wow.
A lot of base.
That's
or
a
softball.
lot of softball that Coach Reese has been involved in, and now she wasted no time. She said, "I'm done with 700. I'm right at 701." She picked up 701 last night, and Whitney, she's going for 702 tonight against Breckenridge County. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe you've been there once or twice.
Yeah. I think they moved that game up actually.
They did. It was supposed to be tomorrow, and it is now
and
today.
I will say there will be a lot of Anyway, they were having league night too, so I think there's going to be a lot of littles around there. Actually, I don't. They're planning on that, so there and next week they'll have Little League out there.
Well, if you're wanting to go, I know I made my first trip to the new Breckenridge County High School state. I don't know if do they have a name for the
I call it the complex. Yeah.
I made my over spring break. I saw Grayson County baseball play a game there.
I must have missed you. I was there.
I was there the first day, Monday. They played Franklin County, and Cougars lost that day, but it's really, really nice ballpark. So if you are wanting something to do this evening, and even if you're cheering for the Lady Tigers, that's fine.
Yeah.
But obviously, put on your orange and blue, go up, and it's a short trip up, and it is a very, very nice facility. Up there at right on campus at Breckenridge County High School.
Behind the high school.
And so you can cheer on the Lady Cougars. And I mean, these two teams played back a couple of weeks ago, and it was 4-3. So it should be a good game as well for that one. But again, congratulations to Coach Reese. It's a really, really good accomplishment. And I mean, she's had one heck of a career, and knowing her, I don't think she's done quite yet.
Nope.
She's got a lot more that is still on deck. We've got a lot more in deck as well coming up. We're going to dive back into the Reddit forum and figure out, what is the proper way. And this one is dealing with paying rent and who should pay what amount of rent and so on. We'll have that coming up here and more on In the Know.
Owensboro Health offers excellent care for your entire family. Close to home in Grayson County with locations in Litchfield, Big Clifty, and Caneyville. Our primary care providers are experts in managing high blood pressure, diabetes, and other chronic conditions, so you can stay healthy and feel your best. Make an appointment today with one of our primary care providers at owensborohealth.org/primary care.
If you're the average person, you only think about income taxes from January to April. But the choices you make 12 months a year have a big impact on your tax return preparation and even your refund. Making adjustments to your financial matters during tax filing season is like trying to lose weight during a routine doctor visit. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart work year-round to advise clients on important financial decisions so that during tax filing season, you're carrying a lot less stress and worry. Join the Peace of Mind team with Buckles, Travis & Hart, 270-259-5604. or GraysonCPAs.com.
The Grayson County Health Department has been a staple of our local community for years, and our dedication to serving hasn't wavered. The Health Department offers several services. We have a clinic ready to serve the community when needed. We also perform environmental services such as permitting and restaurant inspections. We have a committed team of hands workers too. They love working with new moms and dads and collaborating to achieve strong parenting skills. And we have an education academy that offers free education resources for our local schools and residents. We are here to serve you. For more information about GCHG, visit our website at myhealthdepartment.org.
Are you looking for a stable career with excellent benefits, 401k match, paid time off, and tuition reimbursement? Cormark is here. We are ready to support you and your career goals. When you join us, you'll discover a culture that encourages you to grow and challenges you to achieve. We embrace each employee as family. Our incentive pay structure rewards you based on your own performance. Show us your commitment, and we'll show you how to earn the money you deserve. Call a recruiter today, 270-259-9341, or stop by for an interview. Walk-ins welcome. Cormark is an equal opportunity employer.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Apple is declaring victory after a decision in an appeal of a lawsuit brought by Epic Games. Epic was challenging the rules and fees for the Apple App Store. Ultimately, the court saw things Apple's way. The man who was accused of stabbing Cash App founder Bob Lee to death had his arraignment delayed a week. Brian Shook has a story.
Nima Momeni faces murder charges for the April 4th attack. The attorney for the suspect asked for more time to review evidence gathered by the district attorney's office. Court documents claim Lee and Momeni got into an early morning argument over Momeni's sister. Momeni then allegedly drove Lee to a secluded area of San Francisco and stabbed him with a kitchen knife 3 times. Momeni will now remain in jail until the May 2nd arraignment.
And Yelp is adding new features it says will help consumers connect with local businesses. Among the dozen new features added is an AI-powered search. Consumers will also now be able to search for and hire home service professionals with satisfaction guaranteed. Tech Report.
Gonna take a freight train down at the station, Lord. I don't care where it goes. Gonna climb a mountain, the highest mountain. Jump off.
Today is Administrative Professionals Day.
Can't you see?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Thank you to my support staff for putting up with us.
Easier said than done some days,
Yes,
right?
it is.
It is National Hug an Australian Day. I don't know that I know any.
I don't know.
I mean, Max Duffy.
Yeah.
But I don't know him, and I don't know that I really want to drive to Murray just to chase him down and try and hug him, former UK punter.
Is he on the Netflix koala show?
No, I do know.
Natalie knows that one.
I was going to say, yeah, I know that.
You know that.
Caroline can speak Australian pretty well, but
What?
she's not.
The accent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's watched a lot of Bluey.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
I see.
There you go.
Kids and Pets Day. It is. Do you all have pets?
Yes, we have a senior dog,
Okay.
and he's a lab, and he's sweet, but he's old.
So you have a better relationship with your pet than Norman Chaffins does with his pet.
Yeah, from what
Lacey.
I understand, yeah.
Christy, I don't know that you've been here with the sheriff, and but the sheriff and Lacey, his dog, who weighs maybe 4 pounds, are best friends.
Oh, okay.
Best friends.
Yeah, no, my dog's big. He's a big dog. He was the first baby, so he's 15. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he's the most important one, right?
Yeah.
It is Pretzel Day. Stanley,
Yeah.
I'm sure, is from the office is very happy.
Unless they're dots, I don't want them.
It is Get Organized Day. Alien Day, dedicated to the Alien movie franchise.
Okay.
And it is Richter Scale Day.
Oh.
We'll talk more about that as the show goes along. Okay, I've been teasing it, and I know, Christy, I know you appreciate it, and I know, Whitney, you probably enjoy going into the Reddit Am I the Butthead forum.
I do.
I enjoy it.
It is, and it's kind of interesting. This one is an interesting, I guess conundrum is the right word. So a 29-year-old man says he's been living with his 29-year-old girlfriend for 3 years. The boyfriend said, up until a month ago, I earned almost double her income. However, my company has been doing pay cuts, and my girlfriend recently got a major promotion, so now she makes about 50% more than I do. So for one, I'm kind of
Wow.
wondering, that's
What
a
is
heck
that?
of a promotion that she got,
Yes.
or did pay cuts be dramatic? Regardless, that's not
Right.
necessarily important to the story. He questioned whether he is the butthead for expecting a proportional split. So the boyfriend in the latest Reddit post said that the couple has always split the bills and rent proportional to income. She introduced this idea and explained why she supports its equitable breakdown and we both do chores and household work equally. But the girlfriend now wants to either keep the rent/bills paid distribution as it was before, meaning that she would pay 35% of the rent while he pays 65%, or do a 50-50 split, which is the maximum portion she's willing to pay. Asked why they're no longer doing proportional splits, the girlfriend allegedly said the poster should just be grateful that she is flexible enough to upend her finances for him and split it 50-50. The boyfriend said she's been cold with me recently and told me she shouldn't have to punish herself for her financial successes and that my lack of adaptability is off-putting. So who is the butthead in this? Or are they both?
I think he's already seeing the warning signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all,
I think this is a warning sign to get out.
Yes. I agree.
But that's not right now, I don't know that that's the question that we're
Right.
Well, I guess my thing
But I
is,
guess
is
by-
if it's been proportional the whole entire time, if you decide to split it 50-50, then that's fine. My question is if she wants to keep it that 35%, is she covering the groceries? Is she covering the other things, the
And
gas?
that we do not know.
And so that's what,
But it sounds like they've done everything. I mean, they both split the chores, right?
That's what it says.
But
sounds like she's getting a little hoity-toity on him. That's what it sounds like.
I think so.
I would say get out.
Yeah, I think they're on the tail end of this.
Most people are agreeing with you that the relationship it's not going to work. And then they also do agree that she is the butthead because, as one person says, the top comment on this said, so it's appropriate to pay proportional when you make more than she does, but 50-50 when she makes more than you? Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
That's still not proportional in her. You see what I'm saying? If it was proportional, she'd be paying the majority of it, and he'd be paying the 35.
It would be flipped.
It would be off. Yeah, especially
would
if
be
he took the
flipped.
cut and she took the double the pay.
Right.
Sadly, I agree, says one person. If after 3 years in a fully adult relationship, it amounts to nickeling and diming, I think this one is on its way out as well.
He is definitely not the butthead. I don't know. I mean, she to me is the butthead, and she needs to go ahead and do what she's going to do. And
Get out, and he needs
yeah.
to probably get out while he can and take his. But again, I really want to go back and wonder how he went from making double to her to flipping her making double than him because he took a pay cut and she got a raise. Like I'm wondering how that all works out.
Who knows?
What do
it's
they
kind of
do?
interesting. Yeah. Those are
And that's
things
the other
that
thing. How much are we talking as far
Right,
as
exactly.
income? Are we talking like $20,000? Are we talking $150,000?
right.
and if it's more like the $150,000, then I'm thinking, man, she got a raise.
Yeah.
What job is she in?
Right.
I know Mark loves space, Christy.
He does.
And we've talked, I know I've brought up the question to him is if in his lifetime, Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or something called him up and said, hey, I have the opportunity for you to go to Mars.
Yes.
If he would say yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that he hasn't necessarily been like, yes.
I've noticed that as well, but I don't see my husband ever. I mean, I don't know why he would say no.
And I feel like if it was, but then I think the question is how much would you pay to do that?
mean, you didn't say that part.
Yeah, and I think if it was free, that's different. But still, so that's the question. So now I bring you this, as this space company is offering stratospheric balloon flights 15 miles above the Earth by 2025. The company plans to fly 60 flights a year containing 6 passengers each. It is a 6-hour ride, which will start at about $132,000 a person.
Wow.
Are expected to take off and includes an over-the-top experience with good wine and delicious food. Well, it's sure better for that much. Maybe you need to pick up the lady here and getting the thing. But the experience will start with a 90-minute ascent, rising at a speed of 13 feet per second. Passengers will then spend 3 hours in the stratosphere at an altitude of 15.5 miles before slowly descending back to Earth. As this space doesn't officially start until at least 50 miles above the Earth's sea level, others say it doesn't really start until the Kármán line, which sits at an altitude of 62 miles. So that kind of puts things into perspective. They chose 15.5 miles high because it's the altitude where you're in the darkness of space with 98% of the atmosphere below you, so you can enjoy the curvature of the Earth in the blue line. You're in the darkness of space, but without the zero gravity experience.
That's interesting.
I'm terrified of heights. But
I'm with you.
I would do this.
But I think I would do this.
I would not.
I would do it.
I would not.
I
don't think I could do it.
this
Because this is like a massive hot air balloon.
But it's
Well,
enclosed, I would assume. Like, I want to know. I want more detail, but my immediate thought is I would do this.
Okay, so my thing is I would be more likely to do it if it was something like a jet aircraft or something that is going to, get me back home.
I mean, so I don't think this is quite like the end of Willy Wonka, where he, zooms out from the top of.
Yes.
I think this is, from what I've read into this, it says here that it is a low carbon balloon. So I think this might be more of a like a hot air balloon.
Okay, now if it's a hot air balloon,
Because I've never done that. I don't think I
know.
would like that, being somebody who is afraid of heights.
If it was like
But-
an airplane setting, I think I would do it. No questions.
It's interesting though. And do
And
you think
132,000 if you won the lottery for
Yeah, that's
I would.
It
I
takes
mean,
off from France, but I would ask,
Okay.
would Mark be on board with that?
I think so. It depends on the only thing that might get him. So it's
Is space?
6 people, right? So it depends on the size of the vessel or balloon, if you will, because he is claustrophobic some. But I mean, I think he would be in.
Yeah, see, I don't know that I would be.
I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna see what it looks like.
Yeah, there is. If I was not doing, if I had a
No, I
third
understand.
hand,
No,
I would
I
have pulled the
understand.
picture of it. But I just found it interesting. There is a picture that you can find, and I think the picture that I briefly glanced at did make it look more like it was a hot air balloon. But I also did a very quick glance in doing the 14 things at once that I am
No,
doing.
I get it.
Speaking of airlines, airlines are now using AI to make long-haul flights more efficient. So what they're doing is, the long story short, is it's obviously it's a heck of a plan that they have to do if they're wanting to do a flight from like Sydney, Australia to New York City.
Yeah, but I still don't. Is it a man or is it just packages or is it?
No. So what they're doing is they're using the AI to make sure that they get the perfect pathway.
Okay.
So they can conserve fuel as much as they can.
Okay.
And the hope is that over time, so this is just helping the pilots out, is the question is that over time, so like it would warn pilots about bad weather, helps them catch a tailwind. And it would be using like radar technology and everything to really help the pilots be the most efficient that they possibly
It
can
makes
be.
me think about Interstellar and those.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you need to see it. But it's the little. They had like little computer things that they walk and everything, and they help them do. They help make decisions.
And that's kind of what it is. AI is
Yeah.
being used on shorter routes for carriers like Swiss International Airlines. For Swiss, AI technology helps the carrier better optimize more than half the flights in its network. As another airline used the technology to improve its ability to predict wind patterns, which can affect delays and cancellations. And this is just one of these things that AI, I was playing around with it last night using the new, like Mark had talked about the Google one.
Yeah.
I was playing around with it a little bit, and it's kind of fun. It is very intelligent.
It makes me nervous a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I am so changing my mind on this stratospheric
It is a hot air
balloon.
balloon. It is a hot air balloon, isn't it?
I'm changing my mind. If you look at the images, hang on, I'll show you.
Because I'm not crazy. It is pretty much what you would.
No.
I'm out.
Would you classify that as a hot air balloon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much a hot air balloon on steroids, right?
Yeah, I mean this one possibly I would
But
consider.
that's the capsule that the people are in. I think there's a balloon above it.
Yeah,
Yeah. No thanks.
yeah. I think
If
I'm
it's
out.
an aircraft, then absolutely. But I ain't doing that.
But then again, I guess part of the reason is that to truly experience space, though, they're probably saying that an aircraft kind of.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that?
I
But
get
if
it.
you're not experiencing space doing that by going, weightless, then what's the point?
Yeah, I don't.
That's me. I want to pretend like I'm an astronaut. I want
wanna
to float.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and see, I think that you're going to have a little bit more money.
Yeah. Well,
You're going to have to talk to Elon or Jeff Bezos or
That's
somebody about that.
They have those places you can go in and just like.
yeah, I know.
float around.
They have like I
Well,
wanted
just
to do
go to
space camp as a kid.
Go
but
to
I
the
didn't.
Grayson County Fair and you do the.
No thanks.
The Gravitron.
Not that either.
Did that once.
They don't call it that here, but
Didn't anyway. They got 14 different names for it, depending on
Well, the
whichever one you
Gravitron
did.
was the one that I did as a kid. So yes, no.
I'm sure that the Breckenridge County Fair has that one too.
Maybe they did
Edmonton
at one
County
time.
did. That's why I call
I'm
it
sure that,
Gravitron.
They probably got something like that.
Yeah.
A toy maker Mattel has introduced its first Barbie with Down syndrome
saw
in a
that.
bid to make its famous doll range more exclusive. In a statement on Tuesday, Mattel said it had worked with the National Down Syndrome Society in the United States to make the doll, which has a shorter frame and longer torso than its other Barbies.
I love this.
Like that. That's really good.
Yeah.
So you can now find those to be purchased very soon. Whitney, are you a fan of Sprite?
I will drink Sprite Zero.
So will I. Occasionally, not
Yeah,
very
I can
often.
do Sprite Zero.
So are you all in or out on their new Sprite Lemonade Strawberry flavored?
Now, I would maybe try that because I like
would
a good
try it.
lemon and strawberry
So
flavor.
the soft drinks company combining its signature citrus flavor with both lemonade and strawberry flavoring.
I like their cranberry, their holiday
I do too.
mix, their cranberry.
I do
would
like,
try this.
but see, I wish they kept.
all year.
No, they had just Sprite cranberry, and now they've started doing like Sprite something new, sparkling cranberry or something new,
no.
and it's not as good.
No, what I like is the
Sprite
Sprite
cranberry, yes, and they've switched it how they've been doing it recently over these past couple of years. Because I'm with you that Sprite cranberry was one of my
The
favorites.
only thing is I want them all to be 0, and you can't always get that. So,
Apparently, it will include a Sprite Zero version.
oh yay!
At least that's what this says.
That's going to be my summer drink then.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that paper.
I have not seen a picture of this, but apparently one person says it looks like a bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
Oh,
Well, I'll get that a Google too.
And apparently it says here that, in fact, as I continued, other users were asking about discontinued flavors like Sprite Cranberry. Another user reported that the drink here, the Sprite one, is already available in some stores in Texas. So if you want to drive that far
Nah, I'm
to
good.
go and do
I can
that.
wait.
And then Coca-Cola is joining in on, let's see what all we can put our brand on and get you to purchase. So as you may be aware or you may not, Coca-Cola owns the Simply Orange Juice and Simply Lemonade, and Minute Maid as
Yes.
well. So now are going to, in the stores, you will now be able to buy Simply Oranges and Minute Maid grapes. Just putting their money on everything, and
Interesting.
farm to table, I guess, huh?
some
Yeah.
is it a farm?
Well, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yes,
they're
but
trying
I
to-
guess they're trying to,
yeah,
to do
they're trying to
something.
put their label on all of it from
So
gate to
apparently
plate.
that their brand, the grapes that they use in their grape juice and so on will be now used in, you'll now be able to purchase them and so on. So I
In your produce section coming soon.
guess something like that. I don't know if I'm on board with that or not, but it'll be interesting
Yeah.
to watch. We'll take a break, come back here with a little bit more on In the Know, what point to ponders and more. The NFL draft starts. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well coming up next, because you know what? I'm the sports guy. I got to talk about it.
Own Your Leisures, Rashad and Troy, along with DJ Envy, have teamed up with the Derby Diversity Week. We are taking over Derby Week, bringing you the hottest knowledge by day and no chill at night. Take your leadership skills to the next level. Real estate and finance with Matt Garland, the mortgage guy, and Jose Rodriguez, the credit dude, Dave Ross, and so many more. We'll explore culture and media, marketing and advertising, and so much more around business and entrepreneurship and professional development. Grab your summit and fest pass to experience all that Derby Diversity Week has to offer.
Under the disaster of NAFTA, politicians put other countries ahead of Kentucky. They did nothing as jobs left our state. I'm Kelly Craft. As United States Ambassador to our largest trading partner, I worked with President Trump to rip up NAFTA and implemented USMCA, which created thousands of Kentucky jobs. I'm running for governor to stand up for our economy and to fight for Kentucky jobs.
Paid for by Kelly Craft for governor.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Congratulations! You're going to be a mom, and we're here to help every adorably tiny step of the way. Now, expectant and new mothers up to 1 year are eligible for no-cost health coverage through K-CHIP or Medicaid. Just visit us at connect.ky.gov/K-CHIP to qualify and enroll. Then sit back and relax for a minute, okay? You've got enough going on.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected.
I got everything you need.
Horse country, legendary distilleries, rivers to paddle, lakes to splash and relax, big city vibes and small town charms. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I got everything you need.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
We see a mix of sun and clouds across the region for today as we climb into the upper 60s to near 70 degrees for an afternoon high. For tonight, falling down into the 40s as clouds increase. We'll keep those clouds around for your Thursday morning. We'll be watching for some scattered showers moving in for Thursday afternoon. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Apple bottom jean boots with the fur. The whole club is looking at her.
Did you know blue whales eat 500,000 calories in one mouthful?
It's a lot of calories.
500,000 calories in one mouthful.
A lot.
I mean, to put things in perspective, I know that I think the average person, I think, is supposed to eat 2,000.
Yeah, they're supposed to.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, but even Michael Phelps, I think when he's training, eats something like 20,000 calories a day.
The Rock has something crazy when he was training, talked about how many he ate too.
And it's just to put that into perspective is it's 500,000 in one gulp. Now, obviously, mouth size and so on, but it's just.
Well, in size comparison,
Yes.
Ratio.
It is, but still, it's just kind of hard to wrap your brain
Yeah, it is.
around all of that.
Yes, it is.
The NFL draft comes up. Christy, I know you've been counting down the days and waiting to watch every single pick of the draft.
Have Super Bowl or something?
Yeah, I mean, so the Super Bowl was mid-February, so it's usually about 2.5 months later. Obviously, if you're a UK fan, there is a connection because Will Levis will be drafted presumably tomorrow. Whitney, where will he get? You got a feeling where he'll go?
I don't think he's going to go first like everybody is all of a sudden thinking.
I think he'll go top 5.
I do think so. I
think somebody will trade up and get him because as a quarterback, I mean, you got to have one.
I just really think he'll end up somewhere like Indianapolis. I some people say Carolina. I think he'll probably end up at Indy.
I was talking with a baseball parent on during the baseball game on Monday that we were broadcasting. We were talking about how myself being obviously a Bengals fan, I don't hide that. I have had horrible luck with some of my favorite UK guys going to teams that, Benny Snell went to the team that I don't speak of. Bud Dupree went to that same team. Zadarius Smith was drafted by the Ravens. I've had horrible luck with some of my favorite UK guys going to teams that I can't cheer for.
Yeah.
Luckily, Will Levis is going to go to a team that I don't have an issue with. So I can be like, oh, good for you, Will. Now, if you're playing the orange and black, I'm going to hope you lose by 70, but that's nothing personal.
Yes.
So the NFL draft is tomorrow. I'm sure Mark will at least mention it, so we won't dive fully deep into it. It'll be tomorrow at 7 Central. Rounds 2 and 3 will be Friday at 6 Central, and then Saturday will be at 11 a.m. Central Time. It'll be in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then next year, it'll be in Detroit.
Ooh.
I know Cincinnati is going to be making a play here in a couple of years to host it. As I like that they're now moving it around. Because Christy, what they used to do is they used to just host the draft in Radio City Music Hall in New York City.
All right.
And it was fun, but there was only, obviously, if you're hosting it at a music hall, there's only X amount of seats.
Yes.
But now that they do these, they've been doing them outside. So like a couple of years ago, they did it on Nashville on Broadway.
Didn't they do it in Jacksonville too?
I don't know that they've done Jacksonville. Last year was
they did.
So they did Cleveland a couple of years ago. Last year was Vegas.
Yeah,
I think you might have been. They were setting up. Weren't they?
Yes, my brain was triggering. Yes, because I got up that morning and walked the strip, and there was a lot of things.
NFL probably everything.
Yes. Well, a lot of those black screens were up where they were setting up all of their stuff. Yeah.
So now that we were
that's
talking
when
about this, I remember you
exercising
saying
all the time. I went up and down the strip. Yeah.
And it's cool
That's
that they're
right.
now moving it around and so on because
Neat.
for one,
Okay.
these cities get to experience it, and two,
The fans.
it's awesome to see the amount of people that will go. I'm sure Kansas City will have a huge crowd.
Oh.
Especially being
Yes. Huge football city.
Yeah, I don't really want to.
I know, I'm
I
sorry.
thought
I know,
I
I'm
could do
sorry.
it. I thought I was prepared to talk
I
about
know,
what
I'm
they are,
sorry.
but I wasn't ready yet. I thought I was going to be able to
You have
power
till
through it.
August. It'll be okay, and then you can start over again.
I'm just impressed I had something to contribute.
Yes, no, and but as I was talking, I was going to
You're
say,
getting there.
so you at least have the idea of how they're setting up right now in Kansas City, and it's a huge production. I really enjoy the draft,
Well, good luck to Will, because I do know
I do
he's
hope that
good.
he'll
be fine.
and
He'll
then
do well.
there'll be some UK guys and some Western guys and some Louisville guys that'll be drafted more towards day 3.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to see some of those guys. And I always love my favorite, and Christy, even you being not a football fan, can appreciate. I love the calls. So what they do, Christy, is that the tradition is that when when the Bengals are on the clock, they will, when they make their selection, if they take Whitney Carmen as their first pick, the coach will then call Whitney before it gets announced and say, "Hey, Whitney, you are our pick." And seeing the videos and hearing the emotion, because this is what these
This is
guys
life-changing for these
have-
kids.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, right. I
They've
get that
they've
part.
dreamed
Okay.
of this for their entire life. They've worked their entire life for this. A lot of these kids could be, like you mentioned, life-changing money. They can change their family forever. And I was watching a video from a year or two ago of one of the Bengals, and the guy couldn't even talk because he was so emotional.
I would
about-
probably enjoy that because I do enjoy reality TV.
And watching the
and I
families
enjoy-
just get so excited.
and that's a positive.
Yeah.
That is, I
And
I
then-
watch
enjoy
the
that.
mamas. That's what I
See,
watch.
there you go, the
Yeah.
mamas.
And I
Okay.
love the videos too that have huge parties because like there was one for the Bengals where like the player that the Bengals drafted is a huge human being, but his dad is an even bigger human being and like picked him up and like threw him over his shoulder. It was just like it's great to see.
Usually
those
they
videos.
do. They like hug. If they've got a significant other there, they'll hug them,
And then
or they
mom.
may have kids. But
And when
then
is
they'll
this?
hug
I'm
mom.
sorry.
The draft is Thursday
Tomorrow.
through Saturday, so usually the teams
Okay.
will release a video usually the next day of when they get selected. If you Google or YouTube NFL draft phone calls, you'll be able to find all of them, and they're really well done. I like seeing that.
interesting.
What I learned today, though, I didn't know was actually happening. Is did you know that there's going to be a prequel to Willy Wonka
No.
called Wonka?
I
It'll
did
be
not know that.
December
No, I
the
did not.
15th. Timothy Chalamet is going to be playing Willy Wonka, and Hugh Grant is going to be playing an Oompa Loompa.
Okay, now that you say that, I feel like I've seen him as an Oompa Loompa.
Be December the 15th. Will
That's
be coming
interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
out. Yeah,
And I don't know
I
what
guess
it
it's-
may be an advertisement or something, but I feel like I've seen him
I guess
as an
it's
Oompa Loompa.
gonna go behind the scenes of how the factory came to be
I guess
with Willy Wonka.
something
That's
like that.
the only
It's-
thing I can come up with as far as for it to be a prequel.
yeah.
Anyway,
It's got to be or his coming of age story.
Right.
Something along the lines of that. I did see Daniel Radcliffe had his first baby, aka Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry
Somebody
Potter.
said, "Oh, look, they had a Muggle."
That's good.
Melissa McCarthy is People's Beautiful Issue cover star for 2023. Of course, she's going to be Ursula in The Little Mermaid. That'll be coming up next
So
month.
I love it.
love
yesterday
her.
afternoon, I was just planting some seeds or whatever, and I turned on Identity Thief in the
It was on
background.
TV. We watched it too.
Right? I can't. I mean, it's just so. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. It's just hilarious. I love her.
And I was saddened to hear during the show yesterday, Harry Belafonte died at the age of 96. I mean, he's Banana Boat song.
Yeah.
So I always think of Beetlejuice, right? Where that one is saying major artist, humanitarian, entertainer, activist, and so on, died yesterday at the age of 96 years old.
That's a long life.
Had a
It
good
is.
long life.
Long life and experienced a lot when he did that. We'll take a break, come back with more here on In the Know. We got a list, a point to ponder since I forgot one yesterday. That'll come up and more here on In the Know.
Does belief in God really help us survive tough times? What a fair question. Millions of believers around the world say yes. And so does research out of Notre Dame and Ohio State University, which examined the role of faith in overcoming life's hardships. The study drew a strong correlation between a lack of religious faith and what is known as death by despair, a death caused by suicide or by a drug or alcohol overdose. Researchers found that people who claim no religious faith are much more likely to seek an escape from life's hardships through unhealthy means, sometimes tragically so. It's disheartening, but not entirely surprising, that people who don't believe in God would try to fill their emptiness with drugs and alcohol, or to end their struggle altogether through suicide. After all, if there is no greater reality beyond our present suffering, what reason do any of us have for pushing forward? Why shouldn't we numb our pain when life gets difficult? The answer is that there is reason for hope. Hope is what faith is all about. It's because we place our trust in something greater than us, that we can feel anchored through the storms of this life and feel hope for something even greater in the next. If you're struggling to find meaning and purpose and you'd like to talk to someone, give our counselors here at Focus on the Family a call. The number is 1-800, the letter A, and the word family. That's 1-800-A-FAMILY. I'm Jim Daly.
People ask me sometimes, Lance, I'm worried about my finances, and I feel bad because I should be worried, right? I realize that inflation is going to be eating up money. I've got to do something to get around this crazy stock market and Biden's spending spree. Gold has, since the beginning of time, been the resource that God's people have relied on. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, is what the prophet Haggai said during a time of great shaking. To protect your retirement, I recommend that you diversify your 401k or IRA right out of paper assets and into physical gold. And the best way to do that is with Gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, text the word DIVINE to 989898 to get a free info kit on Gold IRAs. Remember, there are no strings attached. By diversifying your retirement account into gold, your savings can be protected. Just text that word DIVINE, DIVINE, to 989898. Take action right now, and I pray that your family is blessed with continued prosperity.
The Derby Diversity Week Marketplace is your hub for shopping, engaging, and having a ball. Hundreds of exhibitors showcasing unique creations and merchandise, DJ Envy, mini car show, hair and beauty exhibits, food, community dance floor, and so much more. Free to the public. Come take a stroll through the Derby Diversity Week neighborhood May 2nd to the 4th at the Kentucky International Convention Center. You never know who you might meet. Learn more at derbydiversity.com. That's derbydiversity.com.
Under the disaster of NAFTA, politicians put other countries ahead of Kentucky. They did nothing as jobs left our state. I'm Kelly Craft. As United States Ambassador to our largest trading partner, I worked with President Trump to rip up NAFTA and implemented USMCA, which created thousands of Kentucky jobs. I'm running for governor to stand up for our economy and to fight for Kentucky jobs.
Paid for by Kelly Craft for governor.
Congratulations! You're gonna be a mom, and we're here to help every adorably tiny step of the way. Now, expectant and new mothers up to 1 year are eligible for no-cost health coverage through K-CHIP or Medicaid. Just visit us at connect.ky.gov/K-CHIP to qualify and enroll. Then sit back and relax for a minute, okay? You've got enough going on.
Got to make sure I play this one as the resident trombone player on staff here. Point to ponders for today. Yesterday I screwed up. We got busy talking. Christy, you don't know this. Whitney, did you listen to the show yesterday?
I did. I listened for like 10 minutes.
So you missed that apparently we are going to be working on, and we haven't talked to Mark about this. Dennis and Norman and the sheriff want to do a carpool karaoke if a certain amount of charity is raised.
Oh.
And if they're going to create a fundraiser, and if they can raise a certain amount of money, that Dennis and Norman will do a carpool karaoke together.
Okay.
So because of that, I got distracted and didn't have a point to ponder.
Oh, okay.
So I have a couple here for you, but we are running a little short on time, so we're going to have to go kind of quick. Would you rather travel the world for a year on a shoestring budget or stay in only one country for a year but live in luxury?
Country year.
I would do shoestring budget in a
Would
bunch
you?
of different places.
Would you
Yeah.
rather move to a new city or town every week or never, ever be able to leave the city or town you were born in?
First.
What?
Would you rather move to a new city or town every week or never be able to leave the city or town you were
no,
born
I
in?
would go to a new city every week.
I think so.
I mean, I love my hometown,
Right,
But you got to think you wouldn't be able to work here.
Right.
You wouldn't be able to go watch
There's so many
softball. You wouldn't be able to go watch
you would
baseball.
never be able to leave.
I would
That's
just buy a
right.
camper.
Would you rather always have a mullet or always have a ponytail?
Always have a ponytail.
Would you rather have a time machine or a teleporter?
Time machine.
That's a tough one.
I would like
That's a
to
tough
go
one.
back, not forward.
I can't go.
Listen to the same 10 songs on repeat for the rest of your life or watch the same 5 movies on repeat for the rest of your life?
I kind of already watched the same 5 movies
5
on repeat.
movies. I would take 5 movies.
Go without shampoo or go without toothpaste?
Shampoo.
Shampoo.
They make dry shampoo.
I think that loops in there, I think.
So
I
could
think this is
use-
asking is, would you rather not be able to wash your hair or not be able
No,
to
it
brush your
says
teeth?
shampoo. It says shampoo. So I could use dishwashing detergent and lotion. Well, it doesn't say conditioner. I could still use conditioner.
But I mean,
Yeah, no.
toothpaste, you could put, like, some
No.
people do baking soda.
No, toothpaste.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have toothpaste.
On TV tonight on NBC, Carol Burnett, 90 Years of Laughter and Love. On CBS, Survivor. And on Fox, The Masked Singer. Today's highlight in history on this date, 1986, Chernobyl happened. The explosion and fire in the Ukraine. On this date, in 1865, John Wilkes Booth was shot and killed. On this date in 1968, the United States exploded beneath the Nevada desert a nuclear device called Boxcar. On this date in 1994, Nelson Mandela was elected president of South Africa. And on this date in 2018, Bill Cosby was convicted of drugging and molesting a woman in Philadelphia. He was sentenced and then later on released. Birthdays. Actor Carol Burnett is 90. Giancarlo Esposito is 65, better probably known as Gus from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Phenomenal character.
Yes.
He's so good at that. Roger Taylor from Duran Duran is 63. Chris Mars from The Replacements is 62. Kevin James is 58. Melania Trump is 53. Channing Tatum is 43. And Aaron Judge is 31.
Wow.
Do you know who Aaron Judge is, Christy?
No, but I'm still thinking about Kevin James.
Wait a minute.
You don't know who
you
Aaron
live
Judge
with a Yankee fan and you don't know who Aaron Judge is?
No.
I mean, okay.
Do you all not realize how much I don't?
I know, but
have
I
you,
just-
you all are in here. Do you
Yes.
see
Oh, yeah,
me
no.
zone out
I
during
know.
sports?
I just
Like,
that's kind of like an infiltration thing. I figured
Uh-huh.
maybe you would have heard
No,
it mentioned
no,
before. Okay.
Uh,
No judgment.
Gone but not forgotten, Charles Francis Richter was born in the state in 1900, hence the reason it is Richter scale day. Chart toppers. So you had a comment about Kevin James, 58?
I love Kevin James,
I do
but I
too.
can't believe he's that old.
That's what I was. Yeah, I was still thinking about that.
He doesn't look that old. Let's just put it that way.
Exactly.
This is 1947.
Waiting every evening.
Buddy Clark with the Ray Noble Orchestra.
Waiting, I'm still walking.
Oh, what's your name?
None of your business.
Pretty name.
Let's get to the 80s.
I'll just call you.
You mean you're not a fan of this?
Come on, let's
You
just skip right
guess.
on.
When I go to sleep.
Nah.
Okay. We'll jump up to 1965. Is that better?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
It's one of my dad's favorites. I don't know if it's actually his favorites or he just always
Guess
sings.
who just found
Oh.
another way to...
Oh. And now
Did you get
all of a
skunked?
sudden we're getting an ad.
Darn it.
Listen, I already watched your ad earlier, and this is a really good song. At least my dad would always sing it.
Well, can you sing it?
No. And from 1965,
Mrs. Brown,
Herman's Hermits.
got a lovely daughter.
Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter was number 1.
Girls who
I
shop
think he would sing this because my principal in elementary school was Mrs. Brown.
Gotcha.
And I think every time he heard it, being somebody who was raised in the 60s and 70s, that he had to.
That makes sense.
I hope that all of my spots, it is going to screw me up again. Why is it doing this? I got this already earlier. Your song from the 80s might not happen.
Oh.
There it goes.
I like this song.
There it goes. From 1983. Gotta hit the bump here. It's a good song.
I like it. This is on our playlist at home.
It's a good song if you're cleaning or something like that to move
Yeah.
around because it's got a good beat. Now we got to jump up to 1992.
Oh, yes.
Oh, here we go.
That's on my playlist, too.
Another great song.
All Queen is on my playlist.
And sadly, this is the one we're going to have to end on. 1992. Queen was number one with Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's a good one to end on.
On this date in 2010, Hey Soul Sister by Train was number one.
I like that song.
And on this date 4 years ago today, crazy that it's already been 4 years, Old Town Road, Lil Nas X and Billy Ray were number one.
I remember the first time I heard that song, and I was like, what? Really? And then it was massive.
I mean, it's catchy.
It is
It's
catchy, yeah.
I'll give them the credit for that.
Well, we were on our way home from spring break when we heard it, and I was like, what in the world? And then it was
then it blew up.
Yeah.
Blew up. Whitney, I appreciate you taking the time to come in.
Yeah,
I'm
glad
sure
to
we'll
be
see you
here.
at some point in the next.
Oh, yeah. I'll be around.
It'll be at some time. The days just go by right now. My pearl of wisdom for today: do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric. Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric. That wraps up our show for today. Mark should be back tomorrow for another edition of the show. So until then, for Whitney Carmen and for Christy Buckles, this is Sam Gormley saying, guess what? Now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes,